Dear friends, welcome on the YouTube channel Innovative Talk of Ms. Rimjim Singh, the undergraduate student of medical science, on which I have been invited to present the first talk of the channel. The talk is on green hydrogen, future of energy currency. The talk has been organized for presentation under the subheads listed below. Petrofuels in current use, United Nations Sustainable Development Goal 7, targets of the Bharat, types of the hydrogen, green hydrogen clean fuel, initiative of Bharat for transforming to green hydrogen, economy of green hydrogen transformation, future of vehicle industry, and impact on the health sector. In past century, the coal was main automobile fuel, but with growing environmental concerns, the automobile industry upgraded itself and made a shift towards petrol fuel as a source of energy. Today, following petrol energy fuels are widely used, which includes the crude oil, natural gas, liquefied petroleum gas, petrol or gasoline, diesel, and kerosene. What is the crude What is crude oil? It is a naturally occurring viscous black oil. It is primarily composed of complex organic hydrocarbons formed from the remains of ancient marine organisms like plants and animals, buried deep and subjected to immense heat and pressure over millions of years, with typical elemental proportions of 84.5% carbon, 13% hydrogen, and a smaller amount of the sulfur, nitrogen, oxygen, metal, and salt. The petroleum products extracted from crude oil are natural gas, LPG, petroleum ether, gasoline, kerosene, diesel fuel, lube oils, petroleum. The methane and ethane primarily constitute the natural gas. The compressed natural gas primarily consists of the methane, often around 85% to 98% by volume, along with a smaller amount of other hydrocarbons like ethane, propane, and butane, as well as nitrogen, carbon dioxide, and trace of the impurities. Another petrol fuel for the energy purpose in home is liquefied petroleum gas. It is commonly used as a cooking fuel at home and is primarily a mixture of propane and butane with a smaller amount of other hydrocarbons like propylene and butylene. Different countries use different proportion of propane and butane in LPG. Petrol or gasoline is a common petrol fuel used in car, buses, motorbikes, etc. It is a complex mixture of hydrocarbons, primarily cycloalkenes, and aromatics with additives and blending agent added to improve performance and stability. Diesel, it consists of approximately 75% of aliphatic hydrocarbons, 25% aromatic hydrocarbons, and the typical atomic mass concentration 86% carbon, 14% hydrogen, and a minor fraction of the sulfur, depending on the crude oil source and the cleaning quality. It is commonly used in car, buses, trucks, etc. The another is the kerosene, which is aviation turbine fuel used in operating aeroplanes. The following observations can be made on the hydrogen share in the fossil fuel. The coal fossil fuel contains 6% of hydrogen. Petrol fuel contains 10 to 30% of the hydrogen. On moving from natural gas to diesel extracted from the crude oil, the percent share of the hydrogen decreases. Burning of these fuels emits large quantities of the greenhouse gases, which is now again a matter of growing environmental concern. Therefore, currently used coal petrol fuels need refinement, replacement to save planet Earth and further biogenerations from effect of greenhouse gases and the climate change. For it, United Nations took the initiative under the Sustainable Development Goal 7, which speaks about the affordable and clean energy. It highlights to ensure access to the affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy to all, and promote a transition to clean energy and recognize hydrogen's potential, especially the green hydrogen, as a key component. The Sustainable Development Goals have the targets and indicators, which has been mentioned here. The target 7.2 substantially increase the share of renewable energy in the global energy mix by 2030, with the broader vision extending to 2060, with primary indicator 7.2.1 being renewable energy share in the total final energy consumption. This target of United Nations actively promotes a transition to the clean energy and recognizes hydrogen's potential, especially the green hydrogen, as a key component. For fulfillment of the commitment, the Bharat has also set its target. The Bharat established a Ministry of New and Renewable Energy in 1992 as Ministry of Non-Conventional Energy Sources, which was renamed in 2006 by its current name. Bharat has reached a significant milestone in its renewable energy journey, with the country's total renewable energy capacity crossing the 270 gigawatts at present, against the target of 175 gigawatts by 2022. Bharat set targets of achieving 500 gigawatts from the non-fossil source by 2030. 1,800 gigawatts of renewable energy capacity by 2047 under its Viksit Bharat at rate of 2047, and aims for the net zero carbon emission by 2070. Bharat set a vision of energy independence Bharat by 2047 after 100 years of its independence, and 100% clean fuel vehicle sale by 2047 under the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan of the Viksit Bharat 2047. The India roadmap for the net zero by 2070 that relies on the renewable energy, electric vehicles, green hydrogen, biofuel, carbon capture and the storage, and the carbon credit trading. And the key initiatives, specific targets are 20% ethanol blending target by 2025, 500 gigawatts renewable targeted by 2030, and 5,000 compressed biogas plants with the production target of 15 million metric tons per annum, 5 million metric tons per annum of the green hydrogen production target by 20. Now coming to the hydrogen, based on the method of production, the colors of colorless hydrogen spectrum have been mentioned as under: gray hydrogen, brown hydrogen, blue hydrogen, green hydrogen, pink hydrogen, white hydrogen. The other types of the hydrogen: turquoise hydrogen, yellow hydrogen. The gray hydrogen, what this gray hydrogen is? The gray hydrogen is produced from the natural gas using a process called steam methane reforming, which involves reacting methane with high temperature steam to produce hydrogen and carbon monoxide. And this carbon monoxide is again reacting with the more steam to produce the additional hydrogen and carbon dioxide, and this carbon dioxide produced is released in the atmosphere. Around 9 to 12 kilograms of the carbon dioxide are emitted into the atmosphere in the production of 1 kilogram of the hydrogen. As it is readily available and relatively inexpensive, the production process generates significant carbon emissions. Therefore, it is not a clean source of energy. The brown hydrogen, it is derived from the coal, specifically brown coal through a process called gasification. In this process, the coal is heated in presence of the steam and oxygen. This creates a mixture of the gases, primarily consisting of the hydrogen, and from this mixture of the gases, hydrogen is extracted. The brown hydrogen production process causes significant amount of the carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide emissions, making it a less environmentally friendly option. Next is blue hydrogen. Blue hydrogen is similar to gray hydrogen in terms of the production process, but it includes an additional step known as carbon capture and storage. The carbon emissions generated during the hydrogen production process is stored in geological formations deep underground, preventing it from entering the atmosphere. So therefore, blue hydrogen is cleaner source of energy than the gray hydrogen. Then comes to green hydrogen. It is produced using renewable energy source such as solar or wind energy to power the process of splitting water into the hydrogen and oxygen through an electrolysis process. The water under electrolysis produces the hydrogen gas at the cathode and oxygen at the anode. This results in zero emission hydrogen source, making it the cleanest source of the energy. While green hydrogen is the most sustainable source of the hydrogen, the production process is currently more expensive than the gray or blue hydrogens. It also requires significant investment in renewable energy infrastructure such as solar or wind farms to produce the necessary electricity. Pink hydrogen, it is produced using electricity from nuclear power plants to split water into hydrogen and oxygen through a process called electrolysis. Nuclear power, unlike fossil fuels, produce minimal greenhouse gases emissions, making pink hydrogen a promising option for decarbonizing the hydrogen production. White hydrogen, which is also termed as gold hydrogen, unlike hydrogen produced in industry, the white hydrogen, also known as natural or geological hydrogen, is hydrogen that forms naturally within the earth crust, potentially offering a clean, low carbon energy source. The turquoise hydrogen, it is produced from the natural gas through methane pyrolysis. Pyrolysis is a process where the methane is heated to high temperature, around 1500 degrees centigrade, in absence of the oxygen, to break down it into hydrogen and solid carbon. The solid carbon emissions are captured and used for the various purposes in the industries like manufacturing tires, batteries, etc. It is considered low emission hydrogen when heating process is powered by renewable energy. The next is the yellow hydrogen. It is a hydrogen made using electrolysis powered by the solar energy. This slide presents the colorful spectrum of colorless hydrogen. Now comes to green hydrogen, a clean fuel. The hydrogen is a clean fuel to power zero emission vehicle, as when want it produce only water. Several countries are actively exploring and implementing hydrogen as a fuel source. The China, South Korea, Japan, Germany, United States, European Union being the prominent player in development and deployment of the hydrogen infrastructure. China is world's largest consumer and producer of the hydrogen, with a significant number of the hydrogen refueling stations for road vehicles and the largest fleet of the hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicles. The United States is the second biggest producer of the hydrogen. By June 2021, more than 40,000 hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicles were in circulation around the world, with almost 90% of those in 4 countries: Korea, United States, China, and Japan. As far Bharat is concerned, at present Bharat is growing green hydrogen sector with several companies investing in production and infrastructure, including the projects by Oil India Limited, Indian Oil Corporation, National Thermal Power Corporation Limited, Adani Group, Reliance Energy, JSW Energy, and others. Oil India Limited commissioned India's first pure green hydrogen plant in Jorhat, Assam. Indian Oil Corporation is setting up multiple hydrogen production units, including a green hydrogen plant at Panipat, Haryana. It also operates India's first high-pressure hydrogen storage unit with a refueling station at Delhi. NTPC is establishing a hydrogen hub in Andhra Pradesh. JSW Energy is setting up India's largest green hydrogen plant in Vijayanagar, Karnataka, to supply green hydrogen to its Vijayanagar steel plant, aiming for green steel production. Adani Group, in partnered with the Total Energy of the France, Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, partnered with Bhabha Atomic Research Center, are advancing technologies for the green hydrogen production and aims to reach 1,000 megawatt of the capacity by 2027 using the renewable source. Besides the Larsen and Toubro, Welspun New Energy Limited, and others are actively involved in the entire green hydrogen value chain, from the renewable energy production to green hydrogen and ammonia production. The government initially identified 10 states for the green hydrogen manufacturing, and number is more now. The union government has held talk with the industry for confirming sizable amount of the hydrogen capacity in the Bharat. The Ministry of New and Renewable Energy has sanctioned 5 pilot projects consisting total of 37 vehicles, bus and trucks, and 9 hydrogen refueling stations. The vehicles that are being deployed for the trial includes 15 hydrogen fuel cell based vehicles and 22 hydrogen internal combustion engine based vehicles. These vehicles will run on the 10 different identified routes of the country: Greater Noida, Delhi, Agra to last NH16, Visakhapatnam to Bayaparam. These projects have been awarded to major companies like Tata Motors Limited, Reliance Industries Limited, National Thermal Power Corporation Limited, Agency for New Energy Research and Technology, Ashoka Leyland, Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited, Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, and the Indian Oil Corporation Limited. The total financial support for selected projects made available is around 208 crores from the Government of India, and these pilot projects are likely to be commissioned in the next 18 to 24. As far as Uttar Pradesh is concerned, it has framed a green hydrogen policy 2024 and has nominated a nodal agency for implementing the policy, that is the Uttar Pradesh New and Renewable Energy Development Agency, and the policy envisions a production capacity of 1 million metric tons of the green hydrogen, green ammonia per year by 2028. In Uttar Pradesh, Welspun Group shall establish a green hydrogen or ammonia plant in Bulandshahr. Hygienco Green Energies, it will develop green hydrogen facility in Prayagraj, and Trafalgar Square, capital of the United Kingdom, it will develop facility near the Lucknow. The IOCL will set green hydrogen plant at the Mathura refinery of the Uttar. The hydrogen will also require refueling stations, And the hydrogen refueling stations has been presented in this slide. India has 2 hydrogen refueling stations, one each at the Indian Oils, Faridabad, and other National Institute of Solar Energy, Gurgaon. The Jackson Green has a green hydrogen refueling station at the Badarpur, New Delhi, that is having a capacity to fuel up the 5 intercity fuel cell electric vehicle buses. In Greater Noida, Uttar Pradesh, Jackson Green and NTPC are building the world's largest integrated renewable hydrogen fueling stations, which can produce the 260 kilogram of the green hydrogen daily at 500 bar pressure to fuel intercity fuel cell electric vehicle buses. This slide presents the hydrogen bus at the international events. When the commissioners of the European Union Commissions arrived at the Hyderabad house and board on a bus powered by the hydrogen fuel cell technology, which was developed and operated in collaboration with Tata Motors and the Indian Oil Corporation Limited. This slide presents the current prices of the petrol fuels in Bharat for the petrol, diesel, CNG, LPG, LNG, industrial kerosene oil, superior kerosene oil, which is aviation turbine fuel, and the coal. This slide presents the cost of per kilogram of green hydrogen in different countries and hydrogen in Bharat. If cost of different fuels are compared, then it can be concluded that in Bharat, per kilometer running cost of the electric fuel for the electric car is about rupee 0.8. Hydrogen fuel for hydrogen car is about rupee 4. And petrol for the traditional car is around rupee 8 to 10. The automobile industry is instrumental with the use of green hydrogen fuel. The hydrogen car is target and in process. Several Indian and international automobile companies have shown interest in the hydrogen car. Tata Motors, Mahindra and Mahindra, Ashoka Leyland have announced plans to develop hydrogen fuel cell vehicles. Additionally, collaborations with foreign manufacturers such as Toyota and Hyundai have paved the way for introduction of the hydrogen powered cars in the Indian market. The Toyota Mirai and the Hyundai Nexo are the two models of the hydrogen car that are currently being considered for the mass productions, with Mirai expected to have a cost around 60 lakhs and a range of over 600 kilometers, whereas the Nexo for the same range is having a cost around 65 lakhs. As far hydrogen bus is concerned, in India, the Tata Star Bus 4x12 fuel cell electrical vehicle is first hydrogen fuel cell powered electrical vehicle bus model. It is a low floor, 35-seater capacity, offering a range of up to 250 to 300 kilometers on a full hydrogen tank. The hydrogen trucks. In India, Tata Motors is leading hydrogen truck trials with models like Tata Prima in both hydrogen internal combustion engine and hydrogen fuel cell electrical vehicle models. Along with the Tata Prima trucks, the Ashoka Leyland and Reliance Industries are also exploring hydrogen powered trucks. The hydrogen bikes, there is no commercially available hydrogen bikes in the India. Kawasaki has showcased a hydrogen powered motorcycle based on the Ninja Hydrogen SX model. Joy e-bike has unveiled a hydrogen vehicle prototype, and the Bajaj might be amongst the first Indian business to introduce a two-wheeler that runs on the hydrogen. The hydrogen fuel cell vehicle versus electrical vehicles, both are the part of the zero carbon emissions and have their unique properties But the hydrogen fuel cell vehicles, that is having little bit advantage that it requires a less time for the hydrogen refueling. Besides, what impact in change in technology will have on the health sector is discussed in this slide. The emission of greenhouse gases, especially carbon dioxide, beyond the limit of the absorption capacity of the green plants as global warming and speed up the climate change, which directly or indirectly modify the environment. Environment change significantly impact respiratory health by increasing the risk of various diseases through facilitating the growth of new health pathogens or exacerbating existing conditions like asthma, pneumonia, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, lung cancer, and other respiratory infections through compromising lung health and reducing the human immunity. The climate change also affects the precipitation and water health, which is the cause of the waterborne disease, which are contributing more than half of illness in the developing world. The respiratory diseases have potential to spread rapidly and build up as pandemic in short time frame. The waterborne diseases generally emerges in epidemic pattern. The respiratory and the waterborne diseases constitute the major chunk of the global human disease, especially in developing nations and particularly in the children. Besides, climate change also cause upsurge of the allergic diseases of the pollen grain organ and the vector-borne or the vector-transmitted diseases through changing the vector dynamics and the vector human-animal cues. The use of the green hydrogen will improve the air quality and break the speed of the climate change and reduce the risk of the respiratory, waterborne, allergic, and vector-borne diseases in human and animal population and reduce the huge expenditure on the health sector. Thank you. The sources which have been used for framing this presentation have been cited in the bibliography, and with these words I complete the talk. Thank you very much. It is requested to all viewers to register their likes and views in the comment box. Your likes and views are precious for us and will help us in further improvement of the program.